We're like, the world is going to end in 12 years if we don't address climate change.
Our planet is going to be a disaster if we don't turn the ship around.
And your biggest issue is how are we going to pay for it? And like, this is the war. This is our World War II.
After your movie An Inconvenient Truth came out in 2006, you made the following comments as part of your publicity for the movie. You said, unless we took, quote, drastic measures, the world would reach a point of no return within 10 years, and you called it a true planetary emergency. We're 11 years later. No. Weren't you wrong?
When we talk about bringing down prices and making life more affordable for people, what are one or two specific things you have in mind for that?
Well, I'll start with this. I grew up a middle-class kid. You know, I grew up in a neighborhood of folks who were very proud of their lawn. You know, we have ambitions and aspirations and dreams, but not everyone necessarily has access to the resources that can help them fuel those dreams and ambitions. It's about investing in areas that really need a lot of work.
So unleash the most powerful economic weapon. We will drill, baby, drill. Drill, baby, drill. Infringements on tribal sovereignty are deeply unfair to Native Americans and Native American communities who are being denied access to the energy and wealth that they have on their own lands. We're becoming more and more energy dominant. I don't want to be energy free. We want to be energy dominant in terms of the world. From my first day in office, we've taken swift action to lift the crushing restrictions on American energy.
The thought of being dominant in global energy provokes many possibilities in thinking Americans. It means that we can create a favorable environment for many countries. Providing cheap energy to these favorable countries will help them build an economy that serves all their people. The fact that energy is Russia's main export will put us in a special position. This fact has made Russia very vulnerable. It also explains why Russia is interested in controlling Ukraine, which has many productive agricultural fields and is said to be the breadbasket of Europe. American energy producers should be encouraged to be patriotic and supply energy to Americans at the cheapest possible price, cost plus. If Russia continues its aggressive actions, we should tell the European countries that they should not buy Russian energy and that we are capable of fulfilling their energy needs. If Russia gets the message, we should work with them to develop a favorable trade deal that ensures their autonomy. This is the demonstration of how businessmen like Donald Trump negotiate. Businessmen like Donald Trump know how to navigate the problems that come up in putting a plan into operation.
It's not price gouging. Hold Democrats responsible for your high price of gas, the fuel cost for farmers growing our food, and the fuel costs for truckers delivering our food, etc. Hold Democrats responsible for the deaths of thousands of Americans because of our open border. Americans should not vote for a party that does not stand up for America. Hold the Democrats responsible for spending the people's money making sure there are tampons in boys' bathrooms. Anyone with common sense would reason that the number of individuals with gender dysphoria is so small that the practical thing to do is to inform these people that have gender dysphoria that they should take the responsibility for their own hygiene. Americans should not vote for a party that lacks common sense. They voted for and supported Joe Biden.
I would, in fact, make sure that we immediately surge to the border. All those people are seeking asylum. They deserve to be heard. That's who we are. We're a nation that says if you want to flee and you're fleeing oppression, you should come.
This is possibly the most addle-brained thing ever said by a world ruler. From the time this was said, the addle-brained left have not come up with a comprehensive plan to accomplish this. They have completely ignored the logistics required to make this a success.
Only a fool would think that he could invite the world into his house. Every individual and nation has limits. Only a fool would invite someone into his house without being sure that individual would not bring his family harm.
Wow, that's awful. Now, don't forget, when Donald Trump left office, the border was as secure as it ever had been. But then Biden scrapped the highly successful Remain in Mexico policy. He ended construction of the border wall. He reinstituted catch and release. And his open borders rhetoric sent a message to migrants that a new president meant no more border enforcement.
In my view, we've already waited too long to deal with this climate crisis. We can't wait any longer.
Matter of fact, if you eliminate all the cars emissions in the United States, 0.000167%, in case you're wondering, is how much of the atmosphere we're talking about. Negligible. Guys, that's science. If California received this waiver from the EPA for the proposed rule, it would allow California to dictate the emissions policy for the entire country at devastating economic impact. Let's have a real scientific discussion about climate change.
The day I took the oath of office, we ended the war on American energy and we stopped the far left assault on American energy workers.